Hi, welcome to my video. I'm Jennifer Roberts. You're catching me on my YouTube channel, True Divine 44. You can get me on Bitchute at True Divine 44, the True Divine for both Instagram and Twitter, and Facebook business page, True Divine 44. This is where I put out as much free content as I can to help support, guide, and inspire those who want to be. I work with energy, I work with tarot, combine the two to bring a narrative to help you recognize the energies within, around you, and within others. Take what resonates. It is general, and leave what does not. Sorry I didn't get to you yesterday. We've got a poorly pet who sadly had to be put to sleep. So it was a bit of a upset day for the kids in particular. So we honoured that life as it passed over. So we've got three major arcanas on the table. And two major arcanas clarifying those three, and one minor arcana. So on the bottom of the deck, we do have some minor arcana. We have the Queen of Swords here, and we have the Five of Pentacles here. And so from a collective stage point of view, I'll tackle this first in that with this Queen of Swords, obviously being the suit of swords, intellect, wisdom, thoughts, words, air, anything air. And so this Queen of Swords can come off a bit brash, a little bit reserved, a little bit step back from the society. Now, the queens and kings in all of the suits, in the various suits of tarot, have worked their way through the energies of their suit to get onto the throne in the first place. So there's some level of mastery there. For me, once you get onto that throne, the energy of whatever throne it is, excuse me, this being the Queen of Swords, there's tiers of that also, in that you may have gone through one inner standing, inner knowing of a certain experience within swords, and you've gained a certain expansion in your thinking. Yet somebody who's gone through even more harsh experiences, or has just had a greater understanding of the similar experiences, or has gone through many of them, is going to be, for me, tiered up a little bit upon that throne. It's a bit like having a newly crowned princess to a queen who has seen it all, been through generations of rule. And so we speak of this as in ruling ourselves, authority over ourselves, with this king and queens in the various suits of tarot. So this to me is a very experienced energy of the Queen of Swords, in that this has been very observant, has been through the mill quite a bit. The swords suit can be very harsh. And so that brashness, or that step back from society, is to be understood in a way of wisdom here, in that it is not cool right now to be a part of the craziness. If you are conforming to what these ridiculous draconian rules that are being put out by the political figures, the various controlling systems and mechanisms, then you know, it's not normal. It's crazy. It's very abnormal. And so, you know, the energy here is of the people who would not want to be called normal right now, would not want to be deemed from a political point of view a good member of society, because, you know, the political point of view is deeming members of society as good now for basically going through with rules and regulations that literally take away freedoms, that take away divinity and prosperity and authority over your own life. Sorry, I've got an itchy spot. And so it's to be different right now isn't a bad thing. To be step back from the part of the collective that is going along with this ridiculousness is a good thing right now, but nevertheless is not easy. The Queen of Swords has compassion. The Queen of Swords has a great understanding in that observational state about what is going on. And there's sadness here for a lot of people who have leveled their way up to the energy of the Queen of Swords, and a great level of the Queen of Swords at that. Um, to to witness this, and this is part of a real test in time right now for the people that resonate with this energy, because it is difficult to um, witness people giving themselves away. But actually, we see now as things progress, as warnings were given out by people like myself, researchers, truthers in general, we see now that actually it's also a real disappointment, which is another thing to transmute and learn how to deal with right now. The disappointment in that you realize that the greater the numbers of compliance with these ridiculous rules right now actually threaten all of us, because it is numbers that the few need. They need many in the many to be able to go along with the agendas that they plan on going along with. And so just to recognize this can help, for me to speak it out to you guys that resonate with today can help to let you know that you're not alone in feeling this way when you're witnessing this kind of craziness, this kind of indoctrination, this kind of control over so many. Because from a spiritual point of view, this is very deep. From a spiritual point of view, tackled in a physical point of view, the occult know exactly what they're doing. We're witnessing a separation from source energy, or an attempted separation from divine energy. These globalist hidden beings aren't just in it for the money. There is another hijack, a huge hijack again in place, a changing of the crown, quite literally. Now, as far as the British Queen goes, where's she been? Nowhere to be seen, apart from a few things on Twitter regarding her putting down some flowers on Memorial Day. She is willingly, and this won't be seen to the public just yet, but she's willingly passing over her crown. They've made their bed with certain globalists. They've made their deals with certain globalists. They knew that this changeover was coming, and they're going to be, in their eyes, if this goes through, and I'm all right, Jack, in that, they've looked after themselves very, very well. And of course, I feel that this is another timeline spin that I've been picking up on, in that many people like myself have been wanting to dethrone that family, those pirates. It's not actually fair to pirates, but you get what I mean. Those thieving bastards. For a long time. I can't remember a time when I didn't, even as a kid. I would not sing her song. And so this will be a spin, I feel, in one of their timelines, because they're setting up many options to fool people, to reel people into this being a good change. We've got your back. This royal family who've stolen so much money, not just from the UK, but from the world for so many years now. We've gotten rid of them. but it's not a getting rid of them if this goes ahead in the way that people like me would like to see. This is a getting rid of them as in a consensual changing of the crown, changing of the guard, and a assurance that they'll be quite okay, which is not what people like me would want. But some people like me might be fooled at the time into thinking, oh, well, these new rulers might not be so bad after all. So that's just something to be aware of. Now, the Five of Pentacles on the bottom of the other deck speaks to being put out in the cold. So that speaks to what I've just been picking up on, and speaking about, it's going to look like they've been just put out in the cold, when actually all of what is going on right now is to attempt to put us out in the cold, to create poverty. Look, they've got the Five of Pentacles, the Five Pentacles behind, ironically, the church window, and people outside in the cold, in the snow, hobbling around, obviously poorly, one on a crutch, one hunched over, hooded, cold, lonely, cut outside. Now, in individual lives, obviously everything reflecting in on everything, you might find that you are in the position again, and this is a continuous thread. This is just where we're at right now in the energies, and have been most of this year, where you are either cut out of certain circles because you are standing firm and you're not conforming to craziness, and certain people are in your family or in your friendship circles, or even your partners, but even business partners might be the conformists, and they're seeing you as crazy, seeing you as a threat, and are trying to put you out in the cold. Be aware of that in business in particular. Or, like I said, family members cutting out, and vice versa. It might be that you are acting preemptively on this to indeed cut yourself out of certain circles, even though that isn't easy to do. Again, there's compassion here in this Queen of Swords energy. Hey, Theodore. And say hi. Are you going to come up here?
I have my bandaged up hand.
He's got a bandaged up hand.
Don't ask.
Don't ask. Yeah, go on then. Go on, please.
Don't ask what happened to it.
Okay. You go on, good boy. So it might be, go and ask your sister.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Sorry, the tumble dryer's on in the other room. And the beeping's happening, so professional. It's a family show. So where do we go from here? The Five of Pentacles, get back my train of thought. Oh, so yeah, so it might be that you are preemptively cutting yourself out of certain circles, which isn't easy to do, but very necessary to do right now. And so the first card, we have the Justice card. You see here we have the scales, it's the number 9. We have the sword of truth in the other hand, the balancing of truth. There's truth to be seen, and justices that you thought were going to get done or not, or it's going to look like things are happening and they don't today. There's going to be such a tease of what looks like justice under the guise of something else. Or something else is under the guise of it. In your own life, this is going to take a bit of strength, because this is all coming from the collective stage. And then, just like I mentioned with the cards on the bottom of the deck, we've got the Strength card to clarify justice. It's going to be a day of being able to keep your composure, having the fortitude to keep your balance, keep your composure, keep your own scales balanced. To recognize once and for all that to not seek justice outside of self right now. If anything, this should show you how corrupt all of these systems are. All of these systems, this is an opportunity to change the guard. Now, they know this. And so that, again, they know what movements are happening, they know what astrological alignments are happening well before we do. And so again, they're trying to hijack the next movement into the age of Aquarius. And so the systems, you know, are, some of them, like the court system, are going to be deliberately shown to be how corrupt they are, how terrible they are. And the strength would be to not jump on this bandwagon. It's a trick. It's a big trick in that they want to again enlighten people, cause the chaos, and then come in with the new solution, the new justice system, the new way of law and order, the new way of doing things. And hopefully they're hoping that people will rejoice in this, because certain things, in particular the US election, in particular the in Germany, France, and the UK, UK in particular with Brexit, no deal Brexit, they're hoping that, you know, that everybody will jump on the bandwagon to say how terrible it is. I feel Boris Johnson is getting paid a lot of money right now to make some majorly bad decisions, to show the true corruption that goes on within Parliament. In particular, I think those guys are getting a huge payoff from the likes of China, in order to, and Israel, in order for them to usher in the new solution, for us to petition, protest, and cause up enough stink that then we are just so relieved to see some kind of change and some kind of leaders standing up and saying how corrupt they are, coming in with a new solution that is far worse than we even have already, which is hard to believe. So the test within this would be to keep your composure, keep your balance, and not fall for this trick. To know that you have justice within yourself, that you can claim this justice in, that you can manifest this justice through your strength, through your fortitude, through knowing of thyself. The strength card being number 8 in the deck. So you have 8 and 9, the progression, justice coming in for you personally and in the collective, by you having enough composure to be the divine feminine here that's featured and the divine masculine that is featured in the lion. To have those balances of your divinities within, just like the balance of the scales, and that you know your own truth with this sword of truth in the justice hand, that you have your own grounding. You don't look outside of self, in particular the people in the collective stage right now, the puppets on the collective stage for justice, because you ain't going to get it, and it's going to be looking like you're going to get it. They're going to make it look like you're going to have it, but no, it's going to be something to usher in the next changing of the guard, the next powers that be, or structures of the powers that be. So we have the number 7 here in the Chariot card, another major arcana. You see, again, this is all about balance. There's a moving forward here. Now, if we can, as a collective, in as many as possible, move forward in our balanced state, have our divine feminine, divine masculine balanced, the scales within the justice card, the infinity sign above the divine feminine in the strength card, the divine masculine in the Leo lion, the divine feminine in the feminine feature in this card. And then the number 7, we have the yin and the yang depicted in these creatures here at the front of the chariot. Now, with the Chariot card, this is fast movement forward. We can still manifest this from a place of balance within ourselves and a calling out for righteous justice to bring back our divinity, for our divinity and sovereignty to be recognized. But if we go off on the Chariot is a fast moving card. So if you go off on a tangent and jump on the bandwagon that they are trying to put out on the collective stage, i.e. how corrupt your system is, look what we're going to usher in for you because we love you so much. Not. then if we jump on that bandwagon, we're moving from in an unbalanced state through somebody else's divinity, through somebody else's agenda and sovereignty. This chariot is going to rip into, it's going to tear you into with it, because this chariot is part of you. It's your movement through this physical realm. All of this card is part of you. It's the energy of you, the yin and the yang of you, and the vehicle of you, the body of you, the physical flesh body of you. Now, conversely, there are a few things that could go awry, that could go wrong for the powers that be with this chariot card. Because there are quite a few of them that are narcissistic pricks that have done no inner work, have really loved being born into the life of luxury, loved being given money for doing no good job at all, for actually being paid to do a bad job. So they've gone crazy. They're acting from an unbalanced state. There could be a bit of a twist here today on the 24th, in that a few people, including Boris, say something wrong or let the cat out of the bag a little bit too much for people to start saying, oh yeah, I heard about this, that Jenny said, or that such and such said, or I just knew within myself. You've overplayed your card there. There's something of a bit of a twist here today, so leave a comment if you think that you see that and pick up on that lets the cat out of the bag a little bit too much, because and pulls their chariot in two. So that's, we can hope. We have the 10 of Swords here. Now, for the people that resonate with this and that can stay in their balance and stay in their divinity and sovereignty in your personal lives also, you'll feel that there is, with the Queen of Swords on the bottom of the deck there, a chapter in your life coming to an end. And maybe you didn't realize quite how burdensome or ridiculously harder life was with this chapter continuing. Until it actually does come to an end. But the movement with the chariot here is fast. So it could be that some of you do have an argument, or some things are said, or just some things are revealed, some justices are done, even in court cases. The results of court cases, and you having the strength to have called that in for yourself, even on top of it being a corrupt system, you've still surpassed that because you've been in a balanced state, calling in that justice. It's worked, it's come in for you regardless. There's some kind of fast movement forward today to end this cycle, or for you to see an end to this cycle. So that's a good thing, although it might not feel like a great thing at the time, especially if it's spurred from some kind of argument or disagreement. You actually, once that's all said and done and your chariot goes forward past that, then you see that actually, damn, that was heavy on my shoulders. I feel lighter. I feel like I can breathe deeper. That's what I'm hearing. So the next card is the Death card, another major arcana. So this speaks of transition. Now the Death card marches on regardless. The Death card is a transition, a leveling up. It is in the upright. And so this is happening. This cycle is marching in regardless. And there are greater things at play right now. And I think that on a plus note, a lot of the powers that be, particularly the hidden hands that be, have underestimated the awakening and the awareness of so many, and have underestimated the people that have come in here deliberately to be the magi, to help liberate us from this oppression. You know, they've underestimated that a lot, which is a great thing. It's a powerful thing. The Death card being the number 13, so it comprises of all 4 elements. It comprises of flow. It just marches on. You can see this horse is in sort of like a dressage move, just going forward, Dressage horses don't stop their routine. They go forward. They go on their predestined route. The death card is a reprieve here. It is some kind of liberation. Now, that being said, there's going to be huge twists today regarding the collective stage and the powers that be. We have the Magician to clarify the death card. And so that being said, there's going to be huge twists to try and twist the narrative to put a little bit more fear. They're a bit upset about the level of fear not being high enough regarding, the big V. And so that is going to be put out there through propaganda, through their dark magic, their low frequency magic, to try and create that fear, to try and create that perception of death. The death card very rarely means a physical death. It means the transition. It means the leveling up. It actually means new life. From what falls away from you, the skin that falls off your bones, like a snake losing its skin. It loses its skin when it's growing, when it's expanding, when it's going forward. So to have the Magician card here clarifying from your perspective today, if this resonates with you, there's some things that have clicked in the way that you use your own magic, in the way that you become your own magi. And there's some kind of leveling up here. There's some kind of expansion here. There's some kind of growth here. And this is a real powerful card to know that you are capable of creating your own reality. But enough of us need to be active in doing it and to not be afraid of letting go. The death card speaks of letting go. The Magician speaks of using all four elements in flow. Not to contain them, to allow them to flow, but just channel the way that they flow, channel where that they flow and how that they flow, and to what capacity, to be in complete and utter control without being controlling. And so there's a huge lesson here that a lot of people are learning today, which is super powerful. Now, today I went to the little shop, the little local shop next to me, and I saw a QR code. Be aware of some things regarding QR codes, and please, 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 I mean, I put this out ages ago, please, on Facebook, please do not be scanning them. If you do, don't come near me. And simple as that. I've got children to protect. I don't need people falling for that trick and not being discerning enough to understand what that means. There's something about China and the QR codes, and the QR codes regarding the idea of QR codes in general, associated with the big V, came from China. It came from that ruling system. They're so good at, watching every move their people make, and that how they control their people, how they limit what they can do if they don't, I don't know, scan the wrist or whatever they're doing over there now. But the QR codes are a softener. And I realized, I just looked at it and I was lost looking at all of these little dots and dashes. And I thought, yeah, it's all in the code. It goes back to the way that they've been researching our DNA codes. It's another physical reflection of the deeper occult things, hidden things that they've been doing. Another way of them keeping track, another way of them finding certain people. These are dangerous, and they'll come back to bite us in the arse if we don't stop using them now. Yeah, I need to look into it more, but this isn't psychic. This is something that I heard of that today or yesterday, that that the British Parliament are considering or have passed a certain law that says they can use personal data and information from people's phones. You know, my daughter said so long ago, and I said it on a show I was on so long ago, change today or be China tomorrow. Welcome to China. Welcome to China. It's deep what's going on, and it's time to take it real serious, real serious. Because there's a balance in knowing our own power and our own divinity. And then there's also a balance in being too politically correct right now about these things. The people that are lining up for testing, the people that are lining up for vaccination, the people that are lining up and scanning QR codes, you are going to harm our children. You're going to help create a reality that is going to be no good for our children. And that's not what I am here to accept. And there are many of us here that are not here to accept that. So if you see a QR code sign, take it down. You know, call people out. You know, yeah, that's it. So that's the reading for today. I hope it helps. There's a lot here, a lot going on. I'm picking up a lot of on Iran. A lot on Iran. I'm going to do some meditation on that. I'm going to hook into myself on that and see what comes up. I'll do a video on it because I know there's lots there coming in. King Darius, I keep hearing that there's something about Iran, not in this reading, this is just me picking up on the fact that there's a deeper reason that Iran is being punished right now regarding not being able to trade and do business. There's certain artifacts in Iran still that have been coveted that the world wants, Israel wants, America, the UK, China wants. Because again, just like most of the wars, to retrieve artifacts that would tell us more of the truth about what we are capable of and what kind of existence we're capable of and what we are as beings are there in a huge way. And so there's a lot of things that would blow a lot of the narrative out the water that I'm picking up on in Iran. I can see some of these artifacts in my mind's eye. I have remote viewed some of them, and I'll try and draw them out. But yeah, that's something to consider too, that everything is done for one reason, said it's done for one reason, and is done for a complete opposite reason. We have been in the age of opposite, in the age of Pisces, regarding the powers that be and the scripts that they put out. And there's certain keys of knowledge in Iran. Wish I could just go digging there. And obviously my mum lived there for so long. That would release so much truth and blow a lot of narratives out of the water. And there's bigger reasons, esoteric reasons, that Iran does not want to be a part of the dollar system or the pound system, wants its own system. And that's pretty wise. So I'm going to dig into that deeper, but that's about what I've been getting so far. Bar a few things that I want to dig into deeper before I mention them. So now that is the reading for the 24th of November 2020. Deep, intense, hoo-wee. Now we can woosa. Take that in, take what resonates, leave what does not. If you'd like a personal reading with me, you can get in touch with me via truedivinemedia@gmail.com, or you can get me via private message on my business page on Facebook, True Divine 44. Please subscribe, like and share. I appreciate it so much. Welcome to the new subscribers. I appreciate you all coming here and for all of the comments. Please go over to Bitchute and subscribe there too. I'm getting better at posting up there simultaneously as well. You know, we can see what's happening with YouTube. We don't know how far it'll go. And it just means that there's other platforms that I'm on that you can catch me on. And why not take a little bit of the traffic away from YouTube? Much love, stay balanced, and most of all, stay whole. Mwah. Love you all.